Hey, what's up there, YouTubers? It's me again, Brian, aka Gamer 55551, and I am back with a My 2 Cent video for this week, for the week of October 3rd to October 9th, and we got 4 stories to cover for this week, though, including the now officially announced GTA Remastered, now referred to as the GTA Trilogy, though. We also have the final Smash character, which is Sora from the Kingdom Hearts series. Not to mention the Kingdom Hearts games are coming to the Nintendo Switch, but there is sort of a caveat to it, and not everybody seems to be happy with this approach, though. We also want to talk about basically the situation surrounding the chip shortage that currently facing, and it looks like there is a chance that this could be coming to an end, but it does sound like there may be some ways to go. And we do want to talk about the UK sales charts, including one game, Sonic Colors, which surprisingly did kind of well in the UK sales charts, though. And if you're interested in the stories that I have talked about, or at least where I got some of my information from, all the links will be down in the description, assuming you're watching this on YouTube. But before we get started, we'll do what is called the Quick My 2 Cents. Excuse me, sorry. The Quick My 2 Cents. Stories that caught my attention, but I'm not going to go into a huge amount of details. The first one is the fact that the Scarlet Nexus will be getting some DLCs, though, according to Destructoid. Let me see if I can get it out. Okay, according to Destructoid, though, the DLCs mostly, basically we'll be having 2 updates, though. The first one, update version 1.04, is a free-for-all update adding a list of 50 all-new challenges to the game, the completionist, which will unlock new skins and items for our heroes and their arsenal of alien-slaying weapons. Additionally, this update will patch in brand new dialogues for Cat's social interaction, as well as fresh runs of balance tweaks and bug stomps, though, although I haven't really experienced any bugs or anything like that. The second update will be a paid DLC packed Bond Enhancement 1. This pack will add an additional Bond status to the player's relationships, EX alongside a total of 10 new Bond episodes, but not No Time to Die, or whatever. The DLC pack will also include new wardrobe and costumes for the OSF members, miraculously designed by a veteran artist. They showed off the trailer for it, though. It's nice that they're offering offering free content update. I'm not too crazy about the Bond enhancement that they're bringing for Scarlet Nexus. I would have loved to see, if you're going to do paid DLC, I would like to see like more story content, that kind of stuff, though. So, but either way, it's great that the game is getting some updates or some more content to it, though. I think it was a really good game, especially on the Xbox Series S, though. Hopefully it did well enough for Bandai Namco that a Scarlet Nexus 2 does happen. That would be really great if that really does happen, though. We also learned that Microsoft will be ready to announce a new part of the Xbox Series S and S storage expansion, and that will be a 512 gigabyte one. Personally, that might be great for those who don't want to spend the $200 on the 1 terabyte expansion card, though. But at the same time, though, depending on what kind of games you have for the Xbox Series S or X, though, it could eat through that storage space, eat through the expansion card very quickly. So there is some ups and downs to it. It's definitely smaller than the 1 terabyte one, but at the same time, it probably won't cost as much as what the 1 terabyte, which over here, it's like around $200 and all. The other thing is that apparently Ubisoft showed off the next chapter in the Ghost Recon, and that is Ghost Recon Frontline, which is a battle royale type of a game. And well, excuse me, sorry. Apparently not everyone is happy about it, though, especially because of Ubisoft's purchase, pushing of DRMs, recurring user spending and all that stuff, and pushing towards the free-to-play part, though. So apparently not everyone's happy about that, and some people feel that they've ran like the Tom Clancy name into the ground and all. We also learned that Randy Pitchford will step down as president of Aulx Studio, but it looks like he's heading towards becoming president of Gearbox Entertainment, as they are pushing Gearbox to do other things outside of video games, like movies and all that stuff. It's like, Yeah, at this point for me, the only thing Gearbox is known for is the Borderlands series. I mean, that's really the only positive thing. Battleborn flopped though. Let's also not forget Alien Colonial Marines and Randy Pitchford's history and all that. So, and as far as the upcoming Borderlands movies, I don't have high expectations on it though, but I'll keep an open mind for the time being. But right now, my expectations are kind of low for that movie at the moment though. We also learned that Marvel's Avengers apparently has gone through the Xbox Game Pass, and apparently it may have done very well though, which is kind of interesting though, because that game has sort of been put in a very excuse me, so coffee on lot though, sort of been in a very not so great spot though since it launched though. Reports of ranging from bugs and glitches to content to the entire push for the live service. And assuming this report is true though, it's nice to see the game is finally doing well. I might consider taking a look at it since it's on Game Pass though. I didn't even bother touching it when they announced it, especially with the whole live service part and everything like that. We also learned that the composer for the Dragon Quest series, Coichisugiama, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing this person's name correctly, unfortunately passed away at the age of 90, which is, wow, I mean, that's pretty impressive for composing music for the Dragon Quest series for that long, though. So, but still, nevertheless, very sad to see him pass away at the age of 90, though. So, it'll be interesting to see who takes over for, future Dragon Quest games. Although I did hear that his music will be used in the next Dragon Quest game that is being in development right now, supposedly running on Unreal Engine 5. We also learned that Square Enix in Japan has trademarked the game Valkyrie Elysium, if I'm saying the name correctly though. This is sort of a series that had appeared on several systems, mostly on the PlayStation, particularly the PS2, the original PlayStation, PSP, to even make an appearance on the Nintendo DS though. The trademark could mean anything. It could just be renewing the name, or it's possible that they could be looking at probably bringing the series back though. I mean, I hope they do though. It certainly would be nice to see them dig into some of their other IPs and maybe revise them a little bit though. I mean, we've seen some of their smaller titles do, very well. Hell, even The World Ends With You just got a sequel with Neo The World Ends With You. So anything's possible, but time will ultimately tell though. We also learned about a report that entirety of Twitch has been leaked online, which obviously isn't great, especially for those who use Twitch as their source of income and all. And that's definitely indicates that there are some serious issues that obviously Twitch is going to have to address though. And in a non-gaming related news, we've been hearing reports about the possibility of a strike going on in Hollywood, as apparently some people are not happy with the working conditions that a lot of the higher ups set up for the studios and all. And we'll see if this gets resolved though. I tend to be more for the workers though, so I'm hoping that this leads to improving the working conditions there and all. And we know, I think several celebrities and directors have come out in support of the workers, which is certainly good indeed. Excuse me. Okay, with the quick My 2 cent part now done, we'll get started with our first story, and this one has to do with the UK sales charts though. Now, usually sometimes when we see the UK sales charts, sometimes they give you an idea of where we could expect what the MPTs are going to be. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're not, and sometimes there can be sort of surprises that none of us expected to happen though. And I think in this case though, this one is sort of interesting, especially with one game particularly, and that is Sonic Colors. In a article, let's see if I can get that out. There we go. All right, in a article from Game Industry Biz though, it reads this quote: "It's the biggest game launch of the year, but FIFA 22 continues to slump downward trend for the franchise at UK box games retails. Launch week boxes sales of FIFA 22 are down by more than 35% compared with FIFA 21, which was itself down by more than 42% over FIFA 20. This is based on physical games and sales data compiled by the GfK. This doesn't mean FIFA underperformed. Indeed, last year FIFA 21 launched download launch download sales were up 31% compared to the year before, making it the first time more people download FIFA in the UK than brought in a box. We'll see we will see the download performance of FIFA 22 later in the weeks when the GSD charts are released. It's worth noting that FIFA does tend to dip during the early years of new consoles, with consumers split across 2 generations of hardware though. 44% of FIFA 22 sales were on PS4, 27% were on Xbox One, 23% on PS5, 5% on the Nintendo Switch, and 4% on Xbox Series S. It means last week's number 1 Mario Kart 8 Deluxe unsurprisingly dropped to number 2, but it was still a good week for Mario Kart, which enjoys a 15% rise week on week. It's the 3rd consecutive week of sales growth for a Nintendo game. And this is the one that I kind of find a little bit surprising though. At number 3 is a new entry in the form of Sonic Colors Ultimate. 53% of sales were on the Nintendo Switch, 32% for the PS4, and 50% on Xbox One. The Sega game just about hold off Hot Wheels Unleashed at number 4. The Milestone Racing title performed better on PS5, which represents 39% of sales. 27% of Hot Wheels sales were on Switch, 14 were on PS4, 11 were on Xbox One, and 8 were on Xbox Series S and X. Excuse me. Sorry if I'm coughing a little bit though. So, the fact that Sonic Colors Ultimate did well on the Nintendo Switch in the UK is very interesting indeed, considering the reports of the bugs and glitches that game got when it originally launched. In fact, to me, this almost sounds very similar to the kind of situation we saw with Bloodstained Ritual of the Night when that game came out, as the Switch version was treated as an afterthought for the developers and the publishers though. But once it started to come out that the Switch version sold well, at least in the UK though, that got the developers to like, oh shit, maybe we should do something about the Switch version. And actually started working on and fixing the problems the Switch version basically had. So the fact of the matter is, the fact that the Switch version did well is pretty interesting, considering the fact that, like I said, there were reports of bugs and glitches in the Switch version that made the game virtually unplayable though. So the fact that 53% of the game was the Switch version is pretty amazing. And not to mention that we've also seen a situation with Starling Battle of Atlas, where apparently it seemed the Switch version sold more than the PS4 or the Xbox One, although that wasn't enough to save that game altogether, considering, Ubisoft and how they handled their situation though. So it's pretty amazing how well Sonic Colors Ultimate did on the Nintendo Switch, especially in the UK, and I'm very curious to see though how well it will do once the NPD charts come out and where does it rank, not to mention which place possibly the Nintendo Switch version might be placed on the NPD chart. So overall, not surprising to see FIFA at number 1, considering how popular the FIFA series is though. Bit more surprised to see Sonic Color Ultimate on that, and even more surprised to see that it's the Switch version that sold more than the other versions, which, like I said, kind of makes you kind of wonder how well it will do once the NPD releases their charts of how games sold here in the US and all. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll get to part 2, and this one has to do with the whole situation surrounding the chip shortage and the possibility that it could, to a certain degree, come to an end. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 2 of our My 2 Cent video, and for this one, we're going to be taking a look at the chip shortage situation though. Now, I'm sure most of you by now, there are those who are still having a hard time finding either an Xbox Series X or S, although I've been hearing that some places have been easier to find with the Series S though, and of course the PS5. While there are those who have been lucky to find these systems, others like me are sort of having a hard time, especially with 2 big problems with it. One, obviously, is the chip shortage situation, and that has made finding these systems very hard to find. And two, obviously, it's the whole issue with the bots and the resellers who basically gobble up these systems very quickly, though, and then basically flip them on like eBay and all and sell them at an outrageous price and all that stuff. Although there have been some lately that some people are having a hard time trying to resell it, though, because I think either it's because systems are a little bit easier to find, to basically people not wanting to buy from like eBay and all that stuff. But anyway, it seems as though that there is a possibility that the chip shortage situation could be, to a certain degree, coming to an end. In an article from Video Game Chronicles, let me get it out, it reads that, quote, PS5 and Xbox supplier AMD expects chip shortage to ease in second half of 2022, but CEO Lisa Su, SU, said supply will likely remain tight in the first half of next year. Here's what the article says, quote, AMD, which makes the CPU and GPUs inside the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series S and X, expects chip supply issue to ease gradually in the second half of 2022. Speaking at a code conference in California on Monday via CNBC, AMD CEO Lisa Su said the chip supplies for the first half of next year will be lightly tight. However, she expects the global shortage to be less severe in the second half of 2022 as new manufacturing plants start to bear fruit. It might take, 18 to 24 months to put on a new plan, and in some cases even longer than that, Su said. These investments were started perhaps a year ago. Console manufacturing has struggled with stock shortage for over 18 months now after the COVID-19 pandemic shut down essential supply chains and saw demand for gaming devices increases, specifically as countries implement social distancing measure. Last week's Xbox boss Phil Spencer says the current console supplies will continue into 2022. He told The Wrap that a shortage of chips wasn't the only thing stopping Microsoft getting as many Xbox Series X and S consoles onto store shelves as it would like. I think it's probably too isolated to talk about it just as a chip problem, Spencer said. When I think about it, what does it mean to get the parts necessary to build a console today and then get it into the market where the demand is? And there are multiple kinds of pinch points in that process. And I think, regrettably, it's going to be with us for months and months, definitely through the end of this calendar year and into the next calendar year. So it's somewhat of a good news and bad news, assuming this is 100%, assuming everything is what I'm hearing is correctly. The good news is that it sounds like, sort of like by the second half of 2022, there is a possibility we could see more PS5s and Xbox Series S and X, hopefully at the stores we could go up and pick up, rather than take our chances online, where unfortunately we have to deal with, the bots and the resuppliers and all that stuff. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that the chip shortage is going to go completely away, at least according to what I'm reading out of this. It means most likely it will just be a bit more easier, which it's fine. I'm willing to take that, though, because again, I really would like to get a PS5, but like most of us out there, it's hard to get one given the current situation, but ranging from the chip shortage and the resellers and the bots and all that stuff. So hopefully, if this is true, although I will still try to find a PS5 this year, though, hopefully by the second half of 2022, it will be a bit easier to find some of these consoles, though. So overall, though, assuming what they're saying is true, that hopefully it will be much easier to find these consoles maybe in the second half of 2022. I'm hoping that's true, though. I hope that this will make it a little bit easier for people to hopefully be able to buy these consoles, though. But obviously, it's still going to be a struggle for some folks, especially given the current situations. But hopefully, as the pandemic kind of dies down a bit, and I hope it continues to die down a bit, hopefully this will make it a little bit easier to find some of these products and so forth. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we'll get to part 3, and this one has to do with the official reveal of the final Super Smash Bros. Ultimate character, who is Sora, and basically the Kingdom Hearts game coming to the Nintendo Switch, but with a caveat to that. So we'll take a quick break and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 3 of our My 2 Cent video, and for this one, we're going to be taking a look at Smash Brothers, including the final character they had announced. Now, for those who are wondering, I'm pretty sure most of you are right now, the final character for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, excuse me, turned out to be Sora from the Kingdom Hearts series. Now, for what I understand, this was probably one of the most requested characters, although like any type of character they request, though, sometimes it can be a hit and miss. There are some characters people are happy to see, there are some characters that aren't, but it seems as though the response to Sora's announcement has been met pretty positively with a lot of the Smash community, though. Or at least a majority of the Smash community, shall we say. In an article posted on IGN, it reads that, quote, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate director Sakurai revealed the final playable character in Nintendo's hit fighting games will be Sora from Kingdom Hearts. With this, work on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is finally completed, and fans are showing their appreciation with the hashtag Thank You Sakurai, and there's been several tweets on it, though. Some of them have read, quote, I can't probably express in Japanese how grateful I am for all your hard work, but it's meant a lot to me and been a key part of my life since childhood. Thank you, Sakurai. Others have said that as well. One has a picture of handing a Sakurai a Mii fighter with handing a crown. It's, I think, Pyra from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, though. And basically, Mr. Sakurai has responded, though, with an update. It reads, quote, After Thank You Sakurai began trending on Twitter following the final Super Smash Bros. Ultimate presentation, Director Sakurai responded with his own gratitude. Speaking on Twitter and translated by IGN, Sakurai wrote, "The hashtag Thank You Sakurai is trending, and I took a look. Honestly, if anyone should be feeling gratitude, it is me. We only achieve this with everyone's support. As you can expect, the response has been incredibly warm, with many users thanking the creators again and all." So obviously, though, he's very happy with people showing their support to it, and it seems as though the Smash community, for like I said, the majority of it seems to be happy with this. And with that, with Sora now officially the final character for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, though, it's clear that Mr. Sakurai is probably going to take a good, deserving break and all. And he probably should, considering the amount of effort and time it is to put into the Super Smash Bros. Series. As for what he does next, though, remains to be seen. Maybe he'll develop another game. Maybe he'll actually do a sequel to maybe Kid Icarus Uprising, or actually port that over, though. I mean, time will tell. Who knows what the future holds for him. But in either case, though, a lot of people seem to be happy with what was shown in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, especially with the final character being Sora from Kingdom Hearts. Although I suspect, and I think a lot of people have pointed this out, that a lot of issues between Nintendo and Disney had to be ironed out, and one claim is that it's one of the reasons why you don't see Donald Duck or Goofy or Mickey Mouse in one of the stages for the Kingdom Hearts stage in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, though. So it is what it is, but obviously they pulled it off to get Sora from Kingdom Hearts in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now, one of the announcements that was made during this presentation was the announcement that apparently all the Kingdom Hearts games, at least up to this point, are coming to Nintendo Switch, which should have been great news for a lot of folks. But it turns out to be that the version that they'll be showing is basically the cloud version, which hasn't really sat very well with everybody, though. Excuse me. In an article from Nintendo Life, it reads that, quote, as if the reveal of Sora in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was enough, it has also been announced that 3 Kingdom Hearts games are heading to the Nintendo Switch. Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 plus 2.5 Remix, Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue, and Kingdom Hearts 3 all heading to the Nintendo platform. all games will be the cloud version, however, meaning you'll need a solid internet connection to enjoy them. No release date was announced for this upcoming trilogy, and Nintendo said to expect more information soon. So they said still that's quite the announcement, announcement though, and they point out a tweet from Nintendo of America that reads, "This just in, the Kingdom Hearts games are coming to the Nintendo Switch. All 3 titles will be playable as the cloud version. Look forward for more information soon." And if you read by some of the comic sections though, not everyone is happy with that announcement though. It's not that we're not happy with the fact that the Kingdom Hearts games are that they're bringing the Kingdom Hearts games to the Nintendo Switch. It's the fact that it's the cloud version, which means that unless you have a solid internet connection, you're not going to be able to play the game very well. And to me, cloud gaming is kind of a hit and miss though. While I do see cloud gaming having the potential of being good, I still think there's a lot of hurdles that still need to be overcome before it becomes sort of like the new norm and all. And having tried out the demo of Control on the Nintendo Switch VI Cloud version, I wasn't very happy with how that version ran and all. I was not exactly pleased with that. So for me, as much as I don't want to do this though, I'm probably going to have to give this one a hard pass for me though. I mean, it sucks because I would love to play the Kingdom Hearts game on the Nintendo Switch. I think they would be a great games to play on the Switch, be able to play at home or on the go. But the fact that it requires basically a solid internet connection, it's basically the cloud version, to me that's a no. So for me, this has to be, unfortunately, a hard pass for me, and you might as well just get it either on, Xbox Series S and X, PS5, or the PS4 version, or the Xbox One version, which has all the games and so forth. You might as well just buy those and not have to worry about having a solid internet connection to play the cloud version or not. So to me, this is somewhat of what should have been a really good announcement. To me, I feel is a very disappointing announcement though. So overall, great that the final character is Sora from Kingdom Hearts. Obviously a good chunk of the Smash Brothers community seems to be very happy about that though. I'm sure there are some who aren't, but I'm sure the majority of them seem to be pretty happy about this announcement. Sucks that the Kingdom Hearts games that they announced are only, unfortunately, the cloud version. This should have been a great announcement to finally be able to play all the Kingdom Hearts game on the Nintendo Switch, but the fact that it's a cloud version and that you need a solid internet connection is going to be a turnoff, I believe, for a lot of folks. So, and for me, honestly, I think it's a hard pass on this one. You might as well just play it on your Xbox Series S and X, or your Xbox One, or PS5, or PS4, for that matter, because at least you don't have to deal with a internet connection or anything like that. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll get to our fourth and final part, and this one has to do with the official announcement of the GTA Trilogy. The long-rumored GTA remastered games have now been officially confirmed. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with our fourth and final part of our My 2 Cent video, and for this one, we're going to be taking a look at the officially announced GTA Trilogy, or Grand Theft Auto Trilogy. Now, one of the worst kept secrets that started to pop up, I think like around August or September, I don't know exactly when, was when rumors started to pop up that apparently Rockstar was considering remaking several GTA games, particularly Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, which is a favorite of mine, and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. The rumors started to pop up that these games will be appearing on several different systems: PS4, Xbox One, PS5, Xbox Series S, Nintendo Switch, PC, Stadia, and mobile devices like ISO and so forth. At the time, the rumors there was basically some people took it with sort of a grain of salt, but then we started to hear reports ranging from that a rating was showing up on a Korean rating board of this happening, to recently reports of logos that were starting to pop up. And I was going to talk about those though, but but then came on Friday, since this is being recorded on Friday, that Rockstar has officially confirmed this itself, that the GTA remasters, now known as GTA Trilogies, are actually happening. In a article, let me see, where's my mouse? There it is. In an article from GameSpot, it reads, quote, following weeks of rumors and speculation, Rockstar Games has officially announced a new Grand Theft Auto remastered package featuring GTA 3, GTA Vice City, and GTA San Andreas. Called Grand Theft Auto Trilogy, the Definitive Edition, it represents the first 3D games in the series when it exploded in popularity and was marred in controversies. I kind of remember some of the controversies. I think Vice City had a comment that was certainly targeted towards the Haitian community, though. And I do remember the infamous hot coffee one from San Andreas, though. Anyway, continuing though, GTA Trilogy, the Definitive Edition, comes with an update and improved version of those 3 games. The bundles will be available on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, Nintendo Switch, and PC through the Rockstar Game Launcher later this year. A mobile edition for iOS and Android is coming to the first half of 2022. Pricing was not announced. The game will feature across-the-board upgrades, include graphical improvements and modern gameplay enhancement for all 3 titles, while still maintaining the classic look and feel of the original, Rockstar said. More details on the game and the package will be released in the coming weeks. As of yet, Rockstar has not released any image or video for the trilogy, nor has it announced the specific release date. Rockstar has also announced that it's removing the existing version of GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas from digital stores beginning next week. Additionally, Rockstar revealed that it will celebrate GTA 3's 20th anniversary with a cavalcade, if I'm saying the name correctly, of gears to collect in GTA Online through events beginning this fall. And this will include commemorative clothing and liveries. So after months and speculations, though, it has now officially been confirmed. The GTA Trilogy is happening, though, and I'm actually kind of interested to see the fact that Rockstar decided to go with those 3 games, though. It's going to be interesting to see how well will they look, though. Will any of the gameplay be a bit updated, though? Remember, these games came out on the PS2 era and came out at a time before Resident Evil 4 entered the picture with its over-the-shoulder controls, which is sort of something that we now see in a lot of third-person shooter games these days, although it has evolved from what Resident Evil 4 had back then, though. So I'm very curious to see how this game will look, especially on the Nintendo Switch, considering that GTA, well, there have been a couple GTA games that have came to the Nintendo systems, but not on the same level as the PlayStation or the Xbox or PC. We're talking about, I think GTA was ported to the original game, to the Game Boy Color. Game Boy Advance got their own version of GTA under the name GTA Game Boy Advance. And then, of course, there's the infamous GTA Chinatown Wars that was released on the Nintendo DS, though. But since then, it has sort of stayed sort of away from basically the Nintendo system. So to see the GTA 3 games make their way to the Nintendo Switch is kind of interesting. So I am curious to see how well these games will run, especially on the Nintendo Switch. We also need to know, are they digital only? I've been hearing back and forth that might be the case, or if there will be a physical version, or is this going to be like a cloud version or anything like that. So I'm very curious to see how these games look and how they run. And if they do run well and they do play well, and if they do sell very well, though, I do wonder, could this open the door to other things, such as possibly maybe Bully getting a remake, and possibly maybe open doors for Bully 2 to happen. Manhunt, that was considered by many to be a very controversial game. Could that game get a remaster in any way? Could we see maybe the Max Payne series basically get the remake treatment, though? Could they maybe remake maybe Red Dead Redemption 1 or maybe the original Red Dead Revolver? Or what about the Warriors, the movie, the video game based off of the 1979 movie, which surprisingly wasn't, to me, I don't think that was actually a bad game at all. It was one of the very few movie licensed games that turned out to be good. So, I mean, it does certainly open the door to other possibilities, or even what about Vice City Stories or Liberty City Stories? Maybe those could get a remake treatment. So, it certainly is very interesting to see how this game looks and how well it will sell, though, because it might open the door for maybe Rockstar to consider looking at other entries and see if they'll give it the same treatment like they are with these games. Now, still, we'll have to wait to see how it looks, though, and we'll have to see how it plays. And I'm very curious to see how well this game runs on the Nintendo Switch, though. So, overall, very excited to see these games get the remaster treatment, though. I'm hoping this opens the door to maybe bringing some of their other IPs over and maybe get them getting the remaster treatment, assuming this one does very well. And hopefully this means maybe Rockstar will bring maybe bring some more games over to the Nintendo Switch. Maybe this opens the door to maybe GTA 4 or possibly GTA 5. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but who knows, though. But in either case, though, it's very neat that they are bringing a remaster of GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, though. Now we have to wait to see if it does hit that November release date or if it's being pushed back. And hopefully, when we see the official gameplay footage, though, it looks good, though. So my fingers are crossed on that one, to be exact. Okay, this concludes this My 2 Cent video for this week. And again, these are my opinion. What are yours? What are your thoughts about the UK sales charts? Are you somewhat surprised to see Sonic Colors Ultimate entered in at number 3? Are you even more surprised the fact that the Nintendo Switch version did very well? And were you not surprised at all to see FIFA at the number 1 spot? What are your thoughts about this comment made in regards to the chip shortage situation? Do you think that by the second half of 2022, that means it will be a bit easier to find an Xbox Series S and X or PS5? Or do you think that it's still going to be hard to find any of those systems, though? And what are your thoughts about Sora being the final character in the Smash Brothers Ultimate, though? Are you pleased that they went with Sora, though? Do you think they should have gone with a different character? And what about the announcements of the Kingdom Hearts games coming to the Nintendo Switch? Are you okay with the fact that these will be the cloud version, or is this going to be a skip altogether? And what are your thoughts about the GTA Trilogy games now coming to multiple platforms, including the Nintendo Switch, under the which is basically Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas? Are you pleased that they've officially announced these games, though? Are you looking forward to picking them up? And if so, which version will you be picking up, though? Are you curious to see how the game looks and how the game plays in any way? Do you agree with what I said in this video? Do you disagree? Do you have a difference of opinion? As always, sound off on the comment section below. Let me know what you think. And if you do like this video, I hope you hit the like button. I would appreciate it. And I hope you do subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you do, make sure you hit the bell icon for notifications of any new videos I put up. Also, feel free to share this video if you want to, and feel free to donate to my channel if you like. You can do it through PayPal me or Patreon. Links will be in the description of this video, and I will see you again next time when I do another video. Hopefully that'll be soon. Until then, from Southern California, I wish you all a good day then. Bye!